Um, Actually put on a couple of good matches with the Ultimate Warrior. SummerSlam 92 also. And his matches with Hogan, this were always good. The Mega Powers, great stuff. Memorable moments, a million of them. It's Randy Savage, and it truly sucks that he passed away and that he's not in the Hall of Fame. Vince, you really, seriously, get on that. Number 4. Here we go. This is top 4. This is where it gets sort of like the WWE's top 50, but in a little different order. I have Stone Cold Steve Austin at number 4. 1998. I was at SummerSlam, Highway to Hell, Madison Square Garden. The Undertaker versus Stone Cold. When Stone Cold's the glass broke, that's the second loudest building I've ever heard. Austin was absolutely white hot. You can't even. I don't remember anybody being as big as. I think he was bigger than Hulk Hogan at Hogan's best. It wasn't for as long, but from 98, 97, 98, 99, especially 98, it's unbelievable. And that's one thing I really, really remember about all the events that I've gone to is the ovation and just the crowd going nuts for Stone Cold. He ushered in the Attitude Era, so on Impact alone, he's, top 5, because he was the leader of that with the Attitude Era. It was great in the ring. How many matches at WrestleMania did you have with The Rock? 3 great matches with The Rock. He was just awesome on the mic. I mean, he could just talk about anything, and you'd be completely, completely enthralled with everything he's saying, just because his voice and the way he talks and the way he has, no respect for authority, and his feud with Vince. I mean, that's the best feud of all time. It's absolutely, the greatest thing you will ever see. There will never be anything like that again. So Stone Cold Steve Austin comes in at number 4. Guy at number 3, I don't know if you ever heard of him, The Undertaker. He's pretty good. He's, apparently he's undefeated at WrestleMania. No big deal or anything. Now, he hasn't had a lot of great matches at WrestleMania. I often think about his streak. There really aren't that many good ones in the beginning. I mean, his match where he beat Diesel wasn't that special. The matches that I think at the Taker's WrestleMania streak that are the best are the ones he had against Flair, that Ric Flair match, the 2 against Triple H, the second one being better, the 2 against Shawn Michaels, with the first one being better. Those are really the main ones that stand out in my mind. I mean, he also wrestled Mark Henry at WrestleMania, Big Boss Man, so, there were some. I mean, the streak is impressive, don't get me wrong. That's really cool, and I don't want it to end. It's kind of like a, an undefeated streak in football or whatever. It's like, it's got to keep going, and he's always been entertaining. I mean, when he was the American Badass, I could have done without that. The less he talks, the better. So he's not great on the mic, but he was, when he first came in, I mean, there's nothing like him. Look at him. It looks like a corpse, and that character, that's the best character that the WWE has ever created. It's a guy who, when he first came in and was sort of like impervious to pain, and Bobby Heenan would say, no, he's probably dead. I think he's dead. Because, he would, you'd punch him and he would just get up immediately. And the sitting up thing is classic. Everyone remembers that. I mean, it's The Undertaker. For a guy that tall to be that athletic is, says something. Says something about him that he's one of the better performers that we'll ever see. And I hope he's around for a little while longer. I hope we haven't seen the last of him. Number 2. My top 2, I sat here and debated for a while. I didn't know who to put at 1. I didn't know who to put at 2. Because they're both so close to me, and it took me a while to figure out. But at 2, I have Hulk Hogan. I could have been at number 1. But I don't really need to spend too much time talking about Hulk Hogan. Yeah, he's basically made professional wrestling what it is today. Him and Vince, they, torched through the 80s and made wrestling mainstream on cable, pay-per-view, and all that. And Hogan just, probably the most over guy you will ever see. It's Hulk Hogan. People who don't watch wrestling know who Hulk Hogan is. In the ring, I don't think he was as bad as people maybe think. He wasn't great, but he did have his moments. Where that match against Ultimate Warrior, you think, alright, these guys are not going to be able to do well. It's not going to look good. Yeah, that match was great. Okay, I don't care what anyone says. That match was actually great. Considering the top two guys in the company at the time, both faces, and they actually put on a good match, that's one of my favorite matches of all time. Cultural impact, it's Hulk Hogan. That's why I watch wrestling. That's what got me hooked on it. And he main evented, like 38 WrestleManias, or 50 WrestleManias? Yeah, I know there's not been that many, it's a joke. But he's main evented 1,000,000, could cut a promo great. You just remember those little vignettes in the back, where he would just be talking and going crazy, and thought his friggin' eyes were going to pop out of his head. And it's Hulk Hogan, so top two. The WWE had him at, what did they have him at? 23. That is a joke. Okay? That is a joke. He is top two. It's Hulk Hogan. I get he's in TNA, and Vince has had a love-hate relationship with him, but are you kidding me? You put Chris Jericho... No, sorry. Chris Jericho's right behind him. You put Terry Funk ahead of him. You put Rey Mysterio at number 9. Eddie Guerrero at 11. Gorgeous George at 13. It's like John Cena ahead of Hulk Hogan. Are you kidding me? Like, why would I even buy this DVD if I see this list? It's a complete joke. Hulk Hogan is a top 5, at least top 5 of all time. So I was debating between him and number 1 and 2. At number 1, I have Shawn Michaels. The one thing he didn't have compared to Hogan, he wasn't as popular. I mean, Shawn Michaels, when he was a face, was hugely popular. Don't get me wrong, but it wasn't Hogan popular. The thing that puts him at number 1 for me was his in-ring work. I mean, as I said before, I could wrestle a match with Shawn, and he would make me look like a friggin' champion. He would make me look great. I've never seen a Shawn Michaels match that I didn't enjoy. None. He is absolutely amazing to watch. He was great as a rocker. He was great in his prime when he was WWF champion. And then he came back after, messed up back for 4 years. And he was still great. And then when his matches against The Undertaker, and when he was, the last year of his career, he was still great. He was just as good as he was in his prime. And he was last year, before he retired. Obviously, a little slower and whatnot, you get older, but he was still absolutely entertaining. His promo work, great too. DX stuff, I mean, that's some of the best stuff you'll ever see. With him and Triple H just, ragging on Sergeant Slaughter and Vince all the time and stuff. With DX, when he was a true badass, before he went all born-again Christian on us, he was a true badass. That was, that stuff is gold. His feud with Stone Cold was great. Obviously with Bret Hart, don't need to mention that. He was funny, before he, went all lame and stuff, as I said, but the stuff with Hulk Hogan where he oversold all of his moves, I mean, that's just classic Shawn Michaels, and Impact he's my favorite wrestler of all time, so I'm a little biased, but you cannot argue with him being at number 1 on that list. That's one of the few things that I don't argue about this list. The WWE, put him at 1. That's good. Top 5, I have 4 the same as the WWE, not in the same order, but my top 5 is HBK, Hogan, Taker, Austin, and Savage. They have Shawn Michaels, Taker, Austin also in the top 5, so 3. So HBK at 1, Hogan 2, Taker, Austin, Savage, Andre, Rock, Hart, Triple H, Jake Roberts, Mr. Perfect, John Cena, Edge, Ted DiBiase, and Ric Flair are my top WWE, WWF superstars of all time. For the most part, I don't agree with this list. I don't know I don't know why they did this. It blows me away that they would actually make a DVD, create this list, and then publish it and give it to people. I'm supposed to think that Rey Mysterio is the 9th greatest superstar of all time. I mean, I get He's great in the ring, and he's just, small guy, so yay, small, small guy in a big world. I get it, but he shouldn't be on this list at all. And you're going to put Hulk Hogan at 23. That just blows me away. So that's my list, and if you have any comments, feel free to, let me know what you think. Try to be nice about it. Yeah, so that's my list, top 15. Completely disagree with the WWE, but I'd like to see them come out with a revised one. Maybe listen to the fans, have a fan vote one of their favorite superstars of all time. Other than that, I think HBK and Hogan are top 2 for sure. And again, Hogan at 23. It just infuriates me. So I'm going to stop talking now and wasting your time. Thanks for watching, and be on the lookout for more stuff.